Chesty Puller once said, you can run me and you can starve me and you can beat me and you can kill me, but just don't bore me.
In a career spanning 35 years, Clint Eastwood has been many things, but boring? Never. Though after a long day on set, even Mr. Cool can occasionally get tetchy. You know, you said that you used to have an explosive temper. Do you sometimes lose it on set when things are just taking too long?
Never. I'm always Mr. Sea of Tranquility.
That's a dirty lie. That is a dirty lie.
That's the one you're going to use in this program. That's a dirty lie. She's a rotten lie. I mean, he's a rotten liar.
Exit Eastwood. And enter the star who, at 62, is the undisputed box office champion of the world.
I'll be son of a bitch.
Cut!
Clint Eastwood has outlasted everyone and, despite the odd flop, is still performing. As actor in his 37th film, now being shot at Los Angeles Airport, and as director, star and almost everything else of his new epic, Unforgiven.
You don't look no meaner than hell, cold-blooded damn killer.
I ain't like that anymore, kid.
True, it's a Western, but it's a Western with attitude. Eastwood plays an old gunslinger who's lost his aim and his taste for blood.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away all he's got, and all he's ever gonna have. I love the morality of the story, you know, and the fact that I was getting to the point where in my own life I was thinking that I was getting tired of not only the killing in humanity, but the depiction of killing in humanity, because it does rob your soul somewhat. Unforgiven was a story about the de-glamorization of that sort of thing.
It's a bit of a de-glamorization of the Clint Eastwood myth too, isn't it?
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the man who killed and walked away, or rode away.
Mm-hmm.
The Eastwood myth started taking shape way back in 1958 in the TV series Rawhide. As Clint's first cowboy, Rowdy Yates set the pattern. Tall, tough, and on his talkative days, monosyllabic.
Rowdy, you want to see a fort?
I sure do.
You need eyes in the back of your head.
Boy, I got him.
Such ingratitude after all the times I've saved your life.
Then the man of few words became the mythic man with no name. These were the spaghetti westerns, opera on horseback. Ever the loner, Eastwood's characters then, as now, carry echoes of his own drifting childhood. I remember, I don't know if this is true or not, but something you apparently said about your teens, which was, I used to pray I'd get to be an extrovert. It seemed the answer to most of my personal problems.
Well, I don't know if it was quite as desperate as making a prayer for it, but I think I always admired extroverted people.
Are you lonely? Are you a lonely person?
I don't think I'm lonely because I can enjoy being by myself.
But a loner still?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you live alone?
Uh-huh.
And you never get lonely?
No.
I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
In 1971, Clint Eastwood created another American icon. Who could forget him? Dirty Harry.
You've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky?
I mean, you got a lot of fans for it, huge audiences, but you took a lot of flack from the critics as well. The word that always sticks in my mind was fascist. That was used about that
it wasn't
character.
really fascist. I think it's quite the opposite of fascism.
Did you resent being called a fascist?
Well, yeah, because I was a citizen of a country among many Allied countries who resisted and fought against fascism.
It was Dirty Harry who talked Clint Eastwood into the history books with the line of the decade.
Go ahead. Make my day.
And history ran with it.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Make my day.
It was a romantic tale and a tale of somebody who was ready to put himself on the line and go to no end to solve a crime for somebody they'd never met.
Wasn't the real romance between Harry and his Magnum? Is there any similarity between Harry Callahan and Clint Eastwood?
No, I don't think so. Maybe the only similarity is that any frustration with some sort of bureaucratic quagmire that mankind has put themselves in, that may be a similarity, but other than that, I don't have the inclination to take a .44 Magnum out and blow everybody away. Oh, maybe I do occasionally, in traffic.
You don't have to come over, Dave, if you've got something better to do.
Between box office hits, he started to direct as well as act. Dirty Harry paid the bills, while Clint Eastwood experimented
Haven't you forgotten something else?
with thrillers like Play Misty for Me,
Weren't you going to play Misty for me?
with musicals, Honky Tonk Man, and yes, it is his voice.
And I've never felt me feel quite so bad. And I know we both feel that we have been had. Well, I guess they were just not that strong.
And then there was the one everyone tried to save him from, the ultimate buddy movie.
Every Which Way But Loose was such a bizarre script. Everybody kept saying, "Don't do this film. You're crazy to do this film. It's not you. It's not what people want to see." But I was just fascinated by it. I thought it was terribly. I thought there was something out there about it.
Bizarre is right, because this was Clint's buddy, an excitable orangutan named Clyde. Still, Every Which Way But Loose went on to become the highest-grossing film of Clint Eastwood's career.
You're getting pretty tricky, Clyde.
Less successful was his relationship with co-star Sondra Locke.
I've been trying to get rid of you practically ever since the first night we met.
After 12 years together, she hit him with a messy palimony suit. She claimed emotional distress, breach of contract, and what's more, he'd changed the locks on their Hollywood home.
So how come you don't know when to disappear? Don't take your hands off me.
How terrible was it during that whole palimony business for such a private man to get caught up in such a public circus?
Well, it was a terrible thing, and it's not much fun. It's bad enough to break off a relationship with someone that you have been very close to. It's very sad. It's very self-destructive.
What could you do in that circumstance? You never did correct the lies. You know, basically you went private.
Well, you can't, because you can't get involved in it. You can't start sitting there and saying, "Oh no, that's not true. I said that she said that he said that we said." It just doesn't. Life isn't that way. You start playing a game in the press of airing out laundry in the press.
What's the number of the San Diego office?
He is one of the richest actors in America, with one of the most recognizable faces in the world. A bit like Mount Rushmore on legs. But Clint Eastwood never stops working. On set, he brings his own mobile home, the biggest on the block, of course. What actually goes on in that trailer of yours that you go and hide out in every now and then?
This is the female curiosity.
Absolutely.
Coming out here. You just have to know.
Well, I haven't been in there. I want to know what goes on in that trailer. Secret things?
You'll have to come in sometime.
An invitation? I come and check it out. Thank you.
Please get in the wagon, ma'am.
Take your dirty cowherding hands off of me.
Look, I said to get in the wagon.
I'll get in when I want to.
For all his fame, Clint Eastwood has never won, has never even been put up for, an Academy Award.
Let me go!
Any man don't want to get killed. Better clear on out the back.
Now, with the critics applauding Unforgiven, that may all change. Is it true that you have never been nominated for an Oscar?
No, I haven't. No.
Never even nominated? I mean, you've been the biggest box office star for the longest time in the world. I mean, doesn't that seem a little strange to you?
Not really. There's been many situations like that over history. That some of the greatest entertainers that I grew up with, like Cary Grant, were never, and only Henry Fonda in his last years, but these are people that were involved in some of the most wonderful pictures.
Would you like an Academy Award? Would you actually like one?
I don't know if I'd like. Yeah, I guess I'd like one. Yeah.
I've killed women and children. Killed just about everything that walks or crawled at one time or another.
The question is, what will he get his Oscar for? He's the star, the director, the producer, and he wrote the theme music. And though it's been described as his last Western, after all, he is 62, Eastwood fans shouldn't worry. This old cowpoke won't be riding off into the sunset for a long time yet.
This ain't no time to quit, Ned.
You know, you're gonna lose your share, Ned.
Shut up. I'll see you, Will. So long, kid.
Will there come a time, you think, when your vanity, if nothing else, will say, I don't want to act anymore, I just want to be a dignified director?
Well, I even stated that back in 1970 when I did Play Misty for Me. I mean, half the reason for becoming a director was so that when that time comes, you just say, I'll just stand in the back with my monocle and tweed jacket and look dignified, like you say.
Not prance around on the stage.
And let someone else do all the work.